Hey guys, what's going on? It's Paul, and I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet because this could really easily get out of hand. Basically, a Deadman mode starter guide has been requested from me a lot, so I decided to put one together. It's not for the professional that knows exactly what he's doing every time, it's just for the casual player that, doesn't usually go into Deadman mode with a plan. So this is a melee-based guide, so if you plan on being a ranger or major the first day or so, you might want to put that to the side, and this is intended for people that are starting on day one right when it is released, so you can get this stuff done. Alright, let's get into it. Now, Deadman mode day 1 is all about speed and efficiency, so you want to get things done as fast as you can. So when you're on Tutorial Island, you talk to this NPC called Skippy, and you can actually skip the entire Tutorial Island. There's way too many people on Deadman mode that go through the entire tutorial, and they're wasting valuable minutes. So make sure you talk to him, and you can spawn in one of 5 locations. For this guide, you're going to spawn in Varrock. Now, when you spawn in Varrock, you want to run straight east to the East Bank. Bank everything except for your food items, which are your shrimp and bread that you started with. Run to the number 3 on the map, which is going to be where you're going to pickpocket from a man to level 5 thieving, and then run to the number 4 on the north side of the stall. You're going to steal at least 8 tea. If you do this instantly when Deadman mode is released, you can get away with even less because there's going to be a lot of people doing the Stronghold of Security at the same time. So from there, once you get your 8 tea, you're going to go straight to Barbarian Village to the west and do the Stronghold of Security. While you're on your way there, this is a good time to protect your stats. The ones that I would suggest for this guide is Attack, HP, Agility, Thieving, and Crafting. Those 3 are saved because you're going to need them for questing later on, early in the game. And Attack is the melee you're going to save because it's going to be by far the highest once you're done with this quest sequence. For this guide, you're going to do the first, second, and third floor of the Stronghold to get the 10k GP. Remember, you're not home teleporting out. For this guide, you're going to head back to Varrock, so you're going to go through the ladders and go back to Barbarian Village. You can pause the guide here if you need to look at this map. Once you're done with the Stronghold, you're going to head to the Varrock Staff Shop. Now remember, on Deadman mode, you want to keep your run energy about at least 50% or higher at all times, especially on day 1. What I suggest is at least 75%, just in case you run into a PKer, because this is an area on day 1 that people like to PK. If you start right when it comes out, you're not going to have a problem with PKers. Once you get back to Varrock, you want to buy a fire staff from the staff shop. You want to run down to the sword shop and buy an Addy sword. You want the short sword because it's a little bit cheaper and it's very similar in DPS as the long sword. If it's not in stock, you can get away with the long sword here though. And then you want to go to the rune shop and you want to buy 3 mine packs, 6 air packs, 1 earth pack, and 1 water pack. You can buy a fire pack if you need to, but remember, for the first day, you're pretty much going to have the fire staff on at all times. After you're done opening these, you can home teleport to Lumbridge. Now from here, you're going to walk to Port Sarim, which is denoted by the 1 on the map. You can actually stop at Draenor Village on the way, and if you have enough money, buy a Chronicle and at least 1 or 2 teleports, but you don't want to buy all 10 because you need money for travel in the next sequences. So at least leave yourself with about 1200 GP if you're going to buy the Chronicle and teleports, or make sure you're going to thieve something in Ardoon to make money back if you're going to buy all 10 teleports that you can per day. Just remember, the more time that you spend thieving, the less time that you're going to have to get through this sequence as quick as you can, and as I said at the beginning, Deadman mode is all about speed. Once you get to Port Sarim, you want to take the ship to Karamja, which is going to cost you 30 GP. From there, you're going to take the charter ship to Brimhaven, which is 200 GP, and then from there, you're going to take the ship to Ardoon, which is also 30 GP. If you do it this way, it costs you about 260 GP, as opposed to chartering from Port Sarim, which will probably cost you, I think, around 1200. It's a lot more expensive, so you definitely want to do it this way, and it's about as quick, about as effective. When you get to Ardoon, you want to thieve 2 inventories of cakes just so you have some sort of food source. Go to the general store, buy 2 ropes and 1 ball of wool. You only need 1 rope, but I like to have an extra for some reason. The ball of wool is for Monkey Madness later on, the rope is for Waterfall Quest. Hit the North Bank, deposit everything, and bring out your bronze axe, which you're going to need for Tree Gnome Village. Your rope, all runes that you have, your food, and coins. You always want to keep coins on you. And then go ahead and go through the Waterfall Quest sequence, meaning go to the number 4 on the map and talk to Almera. Talk to the boy on the raft at number 5 and talk to Hadley at number 6, and then get the book and read it upstairs, and then head to the Tree Gnome Village. Let me go ahead and stop here, and before I get into this, I need to say this is not meant to be a replacement for a quest guide, so it may not have every bit of information that the quest guide's going to have in. It's more so meant for the player that has done this quest once or twice before and might already know exactly what he's doing. If you need it, go ahead and pull up a quest guide so you can follow along with that. But I like to link up Waterfall and Tree Gnome Village quest together because you have to go to the maze anyways for Waterfall, so you might as well do Tree Gnome while you're here. It's a little bit quicker, and you need to knock out the Tree Gnome Village quest as early as you can in Deadman mode before too many people get to the Khazard Warlord. Anyways, You're going to get your 6 logs that you're going to need later on in the quest at the number 1. Go to the number 2 so you can get the pebble from the dungeon for Waterfall quest. Start the Tree Gnome Village at number 3 in the center of the maze. He's going to teleport you out of the maze, and then go talk to Commander Montai again, or excuse me, for the first time. Give him the logs by talking to him again, and then talk to him one more time until he asks for the coordinates. From there, you want to go up to number 5 on the map, get the coordinates from the 3 trackers. The first one is at number 5, the second one is west of him, and the third one is south of him. From there, you want to fire the ballista. To fire the ballista, you don't actually have to pay attention to any of the quest text. Just go through 1, 2, 3, and 4, which are the only options that there are, until you get the right one. Once you fire the ballista, you want to go to number 7, climb over the broken wall, go upstairs, search the chest and get the pebble, and take that back to King Bolrin. When you're on the way back to King Bolrin, make sure you talk to Elkoi to quick travel to the center of the maze, and then you want to head up to the to Mage the Khazard Warlord, and you can do this on your own without a safe spot, without using another player, by simply just running out of his aggro range every single time you hit him, so you can do it solo. Unfortunately, there might be other people doing this. On Deadman mode, they're going to troll you by talking to the Warlord, and then they can grab aggro on it. If they do that, just do it back to them and basically fight for it until you are able to kill him. If you're lucky enough to get him there when no one else is, then good luck to you. Once you kill him, bring the orbs back to King Bolrin and you're going to complete the quest. Then you can use the spirit tree to go to the battlefield of Khazard at number 4 on the map to be a little bit quicker so you don't have to walk that distance. From there, you want to go to the North Arty Bank and deposit everything that you're wearing and everything that's in your inventory. Withdraw 6 earth, air, and water runes, a rope, pebble, and food. We're back on Waterfall quest, so go to number 1 on the map to Galariel's tomb and use the pebble on the tombstone after you drop your air runes, water runes, and earth runes on the ground. Remember, you need to do this in under 1 minute, meaning getting the urn and getting the amulet in under 1 minute so you can get back to your runes before someone else picks them up. If you don't know how to do this with 10 HP, you get in combat with a skeleton or a level 2 rat, and then you run past the Moss Giant so he can't attack you. Otherwise, you're probably going to get KO'd because the Moss Giant can hit a 14. Once you get both of those, go outside, pick your runes back up, and go to the waterfall itself by taking the raft back down and using the rope on the rock and then the rope on the tree. Make sure you're wearing the amulet when you go in so you don't get washed out. Grab your key, go to the room that you need to, and use one rune on each pillar. Make sure you use the Galariel's amulet on the statue of Galariel, and use the urn on the chalice to complete the quest. From here, exit the waterfall and run to the Arty General Store. At the Arty General Store, you want to sell your myth seeds. If there's more than 200 in there, or even more than 100, maybe you don't want to sell them there. Maybe you would just want to hold them off until you get to a different general store. But that's going to get you a little bit of GP since you've used most of it already. Then you can go to the Arty gem shop, which not many people seem to think of after they do this quest. You can sell your diamonds here for a decent amount of GP. Just keep in mind, if you're going to buy your own dragon longsword and dragon dagger later on in the game, you might want to keep those cut diamonds. Personally, I only go with a dragon scimitar, and I don't typically bring a DDS around with me on the starting Deadman mode days, so I never really worry about this, and I like selling them for the starting GP. From here, Spirit Tree to the Gnome Stronghold so you can start training agility and start the Grand Tree quest. When you get to the Tree Gnome Stronghold, go ahead and start the Grand Tree quest by talking to the king. Deposit everything at Neve's bank, and then withdraw your bark sample, your translation book, fire staff, gnome amulet, all runes, coins, and food. And then go ahead and get 25 agility at the Gnome Agility course. This is so you can complete the Grand Tree quest. From here, you can walk to the Fight Arena quest start point because you can't actually use the Spirit Trees without completing the... you can't use the Grand Tree Spirit Tree without completing the Grand Tree quest. Since you're going to walk to Hazelmere, you can go ahead and complete the Fight Arena quest, or at least all of the steps until you go to Hazelmere. You're going to turn it in on the way back just because it's more on the way. It's more efficient to do it that way, I guess. So go ahead and talk to Lady Serval to start it, grab the Khazard armor, and then run through the quest sequence, which you can just read. I won't insult your intelligence. There's nothing that really stands out, so I don't really need to explain it. After you've gotten thrown into the arena, make sure you use the skeleton on the ground to safe spot the ogre, and then talk to Hangred, and then you're going to get thrown back into the arena. And again, use the same safe spot to kill the scorpion and the bouncer. You don't have to kill General Khazard, it's a waste of time. You don't have to do it to complete the quest, so you can go ahead and leave the door when you get to him. From there, go to Hazelmere, talk to him, and he will give you the translation notes. And then you're going to go ahead and talk to Lady Serval to turn in the Fight Arena quest. Go to Elkoi at the Tree Gnome Village. Quick travel to the middle, and then use the Tree Gnome Village Spirit Tree to tele back to the Grand Tree. When you get back to the Tree Gnome Stronghold, you're going to go ahead and talk to the king, go to Glow, up the ladder and talk to him, and then you're going to go back to the king before you have to go to the 4th floor and talk to Charlie. On the way to the 4th floor, you can actually stop at the 2nd floor and buy multiple items that you're going to need later on for questing. You can buy quest items here that you're going to need for Plague City quest, that you're going to need for Recipe for Disaster and for Death Plateau. But you don't really have to if you don't plan on questing later on. Just something that might save you some time later on so you don't have to go around collecting supplies. Go to the 4th floor and talk to Charlie, and then go back to Glow's house and search the cupboard. And there you're going to get arrested and thrown in the jail next to Charlie. The king's going to come up and release you and tell you to use the glider to go to the shipyard. So after taking the glider, run east to the shipyard, click on the gate, and talk through the sequence. I think the talk sequence is 122 to give them the password Ka-Lu Min, which is the first option, second option is what I mean by that. Go ahead and kill the foreman and take the lumber order. You can talk to him through the sequence that the quest guide tells you, but I find it faster to just kill him. And then use the charter ships to go to Brimhaven, which is going to cost you 200 GP, and then use the boat from Brimhaven to Ardoon for 30 GP. From there, go to the battlefield of Khazard to the west and use the spirit tree to get back to the Gnome Stronghold as quick as you can. When you get back to the Gnome Stronghold, talk to the king, and then go talk to Charlie on the 4th floor again. He's going to tell you to go to Anita, which is number 3 on the map, and get the key for Glow's house. Go to Glow's house from there and use the key on the chest. You have to actually use the key. You can't just click on the chest. And then go back to the king, talk to him, and he's going to give you the Tuzo sticks. From there, go to Glow's house and click on the tree to go upstairs another level. Use the sticks in that order, Tuzo, and then safe spot Mage the Demon by running downstairs. Now, when you go down this trapdoor, make sure you don't click on anything. Just hold down the space bar. If you click on anything, it's going to kick you out of it, and it's going to make you do it again. For some reason, it messes up the game somehow. But anyways, you can use the rocks to the south or the hallway area to the west to safe spot the demon. Only use the hallway if you have multiple people because you'll get PJ'd by the bat. You're going to take 1 hit if you safe spot at the rocks to the south if you do it correctly, and that's definitely what I recommend. After you kill the demon, go to number 8 on the map and talk to the king, and then search all the different routes around until you find the Daconia rock. Make sure you wait a couple ticks after you click each one, because if you go through it too quickly, it won't actually give it to you in your inventory. Then turn in the quest at King Narnode. Now, at this point in Deadman mode, I like training up straight for the Warriors Guild so I can get in there and start working on my Dragon Defender on day 1. As everyone knows, on Deadman mode, you really need to knock this out as early as you can, otherwise there's going to be clans that lock out the Warriors Guild later on. So, I do these starting quests just so I get the prereqs for Monkey Madness out of the way, and the other 2 quests, Waterfall and Fight Arena, are just easy to do on the way, so you might as well just knock them out real quick. They're not absolutely necessary. Anyways, to get up to 65-65, which is what I like going for Warriors Guild, I typically try to train at Hill Giants so I can get my 43 prayer along the way, because you will have enough big bones to get it before you get to 65-65. You can choose any sort of other training area that you wish, but Hill Giants I find are pretty much the most popular one for the 43 prayer as well. And I've listed the locations on the right just so you have some different options so everyone is not using the freaking dungeon, the Edgeville dungeon for them. It's probably the worst thing that you can do. If you want to, you can train at Waterbirth, Rock Crabs, or anywhere else that you see is going to be a good experience per hour to get 65-65, but if you're getting to the guild without 43 prayer, you're going to get specced out, so you don't really want to do that. The reason that, another reason rather, that I do Dragon Defender on day 1 or start working towards it on day 1 is to knock out 85 combat so you can use Neve as a Slayer Master, so you skip all of the bad tasks that you're going to get from Cheldar, from Vanaka, or any other Slayer Master. So it's just another little benefit to do it this early. Anyways guys, I hope this guide helped. As I said, it's not to be the most pro way in the world, but it is something to keep you on track if you don't really know what you want to do with Deadman mode, and it kind of considers everything that you're going to need along the way, like buying your runes at the right time, and how many runes you should buy, how much money you should have left over, and just basic things that some people just don't think of when they're questing. Now, I know this was a rather unconventional guide since I didn't use a video to explain everything, but I kind of like the visual representations of the guide just so you have something to reference, and you don't have to keep clicking back to a video. You can just pause it if you need to. So if you guys think that this is helpful and you want me to make more guides like this, let me know. I can make them Deadman mode related. I can even make them old school related, though I doubt I will. But anyways, leave a comment and let me know how you liked it, or if you didn't at all, you could say fuck off, Paul, and that'll make my day too, as long as you leave me something. Anyways, happy Deadman moding, guys.